All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Miliaccio, with my co-host, Ride or Die, George Ballantine. Of course, this is always tip of the spear on this show because, you know, it's better to be hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. And, you know, that's how we do it here on this show. If you're looking to get lied to, or if you want mainstream media news, you're in the wrong spot. We try to bring the domestic and international news that matters. And we do the research so you don't have to. Hopefully we get it right. You know, we do everything we can to vet what we're going to tell you guys. You can count on what we're telling you are the facts, the sauce, the evidence. Guys, nobody's safe on this show. I don't care what your political party is. If it's not good for the country, well, then we're not going to like you on this show. George B., what's up, bro? Morning, how are you?
Good morning. Yo, the Mikey Schwartz show just rated us. Thank you, Mike Schwartz.
Schwartzeroni. I think he's going to be on this Friday, isn't he? Is he coming on Friday?
I don't know. Mikey, Kelly, myself, we had a nice breakfast Sunday morning.
Oh.
Good times.
Did you guys settle the pork roll ham conflict?
No, I wasn't bringing it up, and he kind of brought it up, and I said, dude, are you serious? With the waitress there, and I just shut him up. Like, we're going back and forth about other stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's no settlement on the pork roll versus the ham roll or whatever it is.
No, we're just going to leave it like I agree to disagree or some shit like that, even though I'm right and
agree
he's
to
wrong.
Disagree. Okay. All right. Well, you know, there's an issue in breakfast sandwiches in New Jersey George has been dealing with. And
I don't deal with it. I just...
Now, do you say it's ham or did you say it's pork? I might have got confused at this point. Which one do you say it is?
Taylor ham.
Taylor ham, and Mike
he
goes
says
with
pork
the
roll, yeah.
Although they do have both of those, they do carry both. But I understand that where the conflict is. We didn't have that issue in New York.
It's just South Jersey got their lingo, North Jersey we got ours. I guess that's all it is.
Yeah, Taylor ham.
They're a little backwards down there. You know what I mean? Down in South Jersey, a little backwards.
All right. Well, we welcome the Mike Schwartzeronis. We welcome you guys. Thanks for coming in. We always appreciate the raid. That's for sure. And don't forget. You know, Rumble's our home base, but you can find us on YouTube and locals. If you'd like to sponsor the show, well, you know how to do it. info@thebigmig.com. Hit us up. We'll take a look at the company. If we like what we see, then we'll have a discussion. We'll have a little talk, and we'll see how things go. Of course, we're always looking for great products and great opportunities for our listeners and subscribers. Gold, Genesis Gold Group. It's the Prepper Bar, the 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated, as you can see when I tilt the bar. 3 different separate denominations, small, a medium, and large, in case you need to make a payment, which is going to be less than a 1 ounce gold or silver token. And at these prices, it's obvious you need a solution. Of course, I don't care whether it's for diversification, asset protection from inflation, or economic turmoil. The Prepper Bar is a perfect gift for everybody. You don't have to be a prepper. You don't have to be a stacker like George and I that we like our bullion. Anybody appreciates gold and silver. I still have silver and gold that my dad gave me as a child. I've never gotten rid of it. I plan on passing it down to my daughter unless there's some kind of a financial emergency at this house. Of course, they come with an assay report. They've got them in stock, gold and silver. They just got a big restock over at Genesis Gold Group. Give them a call over at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. Or, of course, you know, you can hit them up straight at genesisgoldgroup.com. That's right, genesisgoldgroup.com. Head right over there to let them know the Big Mig Show sent you, of course. So 888-526-7154. Tell them the Big Mig Show sent you. And don't forget, listen, having a few on hand gives you peace of mind. It's a good idea to have a little bit sitting around just in case. All right. Let's rock and roll,
Break
George.
me off a piece of that Prepper Bar.
And there it is. George, you're not singing this morning because it's Monday or just because you had other things?
No, I just shut off my camera and put it back on, waiting for it to come on.
I gotcha.
But
well, when George gets back in the saddle here, well, of course, 9/11.
Oh, Hold on.
Are we
Nah,
ever
before
gonna
you do
get
that,
to
no,
the-
no, no. Don't even start.
I know we
that.
got to set the mood. I know we got to set.
Yeah, but don't even bring up that because let's do a little fun stuff because I'm going to be bringing up 9/11. So
Okay.
let's do this because I have this and I have something else I have to bring up. I didn't tell you. We're going to do this first. So, you know,
All right.
we had the IndyCar race on Sunday in DC, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. It was pretty cool. Good race. They said it was a record crowd, 350,000 plus.
Yep.
It was nice. So I guess they had a promo of it, and doing the promo, they used all the military, all the different forces. You know, the Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, Space Force, and did a commercial bringing in a pace car. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna play it.
This is the United States Space Force, looking for all parties to confirm Operation Freedom 250.
Roger, Space Force Marines in place, standing by.
Navy is standing by.
Army in place, standing by. Air Force standing by. Space Force, Coast Guard 29110, standing by.
Roger. Operation Freedom 250 is a go.
Space Force, Condor 11 is IP inbound for exfil.
Marines, mission is a go. Execute, execute, execute.
Last man down. Move, move, move. All clear, all clear. This one flight is inbound. 1-3 breakdown. Target secure. Space Force, this is Hitman. Jackpot.
Condor 1-1, this is Space Force.
Update mission status.
This is Condor 1-1. We are egressing for delivery to the United States Navy.
Roger, Condor 1-1. Prepare for delivery. Alright, boys.
119.85.
5 Roger that, contact Andrews Tower, 18-4. Okay, yeah, Roger. All clear, all clear. This whole place, sit down.
Proceed to the drop zone.
30 seconds.
Dragon Slayer, this is Space Force. Confirm you are inbound.
Space Force, Slayer 1-1. Wheels up, LZ Blaster, 7 Eagles. 3, 2, 1, go.
Counter Strike Force. Package is secure and on delivery to the United States Army.
Roger, Tomcatter.
Army, you're a go. You're a go.
Space Force, this is Able 7. We are on the move. Smoke in sight. LZ identified. Flight inbound.
Loud and clear, Able 7. Secure LZ and stand by for heavy 1-1 drop-off.
Descend, we have the Raven 9 arrival, Southwest 3650. Able 3-6, package is on the ground, moving into established escort convoy. Roger, Reach 250 is standing by. Copy HQ, we got movement from southwest.
12745, maintain 2809.
Court to recall.
365209, descend via the cap 4.
Space Force, Reach 250, we've made contact with core flight. This is Razor 1. We are ready to move the package to the nation's capital.
Acknowledge. Reach 250. Touchdown confirmed.
Space Force, this is Coast Guard. We have visual on the final delivery of the package. Roger, Coast Guard. Operation Freedom 250, mission complete.
Mission complete.
Yeah. If that actually went like that, can you imagine what that cost?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be fucking pretty good. All right, I came across this this post on social media sites. I said, "Damn, this could be a good slogan. This could be a thing right here." So I'm gonna get everybody's advice. I think it'd work great. Lance, especially, what do you think?
I'm having a little trouble seeing that. What
Says
is
I
it?
dropped a tater tot down my shirt and laughed for 5 minutes because I looked down in my bra and whispered titty tots. It could be a thing. Could be a slogan right there.
I got it. All right.
Did he?
Well,
No, you don't think so?
Come
on.
I'm not sure. I'm going to leave
All
that
right,
one to
I
you.
need people in the chat. Let's go. I know what my mods and ladies are gonna say. Probably gonna be against it because we got one laughing. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be a great slogan. It's a seller.
All right.
All
Well, you know, I kind of thought that when this administration came in place, I thought we were going to have this incredible period of truth bombs.
I'm not done yet, though. I had something else I wanted to bring up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You're awfully like.
No, I thought you were done. And
All
you
right.
said you had two things.
I already
That was
know
two
your
things.
position on this, so I want to hear from people in the chat.
Okay.
What do you all think about energy drinks? So I know somebody drinks Monsters a lot. I know a lot of people be drinking Alani's. Then there's a new one I seen, Ghost, which is supposed to be pretty good. Once in a while I'll have one. I just don't drink them every day. Probably if I'm out on the road or something, if I'm doing an event, we'll grab them. But people in the chat, you guys drink energy drinks? What's your deal? Lance, I know what you're going to tell me. You're like me.
You know, I try not to drink energy drinks. You know that we have drank them when we're on the road, when we're tired and we're doing, traveling and doing events and stuff. I try not to. I question a lot of times exactly what's in them. I try to stick with like caffeine and green tea and other brain nootropics now. A lot of people talk about there's benzene in the drinks. A lot of people talk about, other certain drinks being worse than others. I don't know. One of my things is in my life is when in doubt, try to leave it out.
When in doubt, try to leave it out. All right. Let me see.
So I've seen a lot of negative reports online. I don't know what to believe. I'm not a chemist.
Hold on. Let me see. I drink
There's a lot of weird
Celsius.
stuff in energy drinks.
Let me see. I drink Celsius.
Celsius is one of the ones people talk about.
Energy drinks are really bad for you. Oh, somebody came up with another name for instead of titty tots. Toddy tits. Toddy tots, maybe? Okay. I like toddy tots, though. Celsius, they have too much caffeine and sugar. Well, they do have sugar-free energy drinks, so they have too much caffeine. I think that's the point of them. Why do people drink? Because they need the caffeine.
Yeah. I don't worry so much about the caffeine. It's all the other stuff.
What's this? I ain't afraid of no Ghost. That's something a new drink, Ghost. I've never seen it, but somebody said it's pretty good. But we'll see. All right, let's go. 9/11. Get to it.
Well, I thought we were going to get transparency. I really did. I thought that anytime they exposed something, there was going to be full accountability and consequences. I expected lots of deep state arrests. I expected the swamp to be drained. I thought, they've got the House, they've got the Senate, they've got president in place that we all wanted. And I thought that was going to all get fixed, and honestly, I was hopeful about 9/11. I was hopeful that, all the secrets would be released, that they would finally expose it, because, of course, that would be additional deep state exposure. And it looks like there's still lots of secret files we may never see. I mean, many of us have been hopeful because Donald Trump was in the House, and we thought, well, with Donald Trump in there, maybe we'll finally get a chance to know what really happened with 9/11, because there's a lot of questions. I mean, we thought this was a once in a lifetime chance for answers, is what we thought. I guess not.
You need to speak in the eye on this one, and when you're done, I'll say why.
I need to speak I
in the eye. Don't say we.
Oh,
would you like to know why?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Not in a million years have I thought that anything of 9/11 will come out with this administration or any administration in my lifetime. Look how long you waited for the CIA files on Kennedy's assassination, and they're still holding back, probably some. So, nah, I don't think nothing is going to come of it. They're trying to do so much over there to try to keep peace and create relations that they're not going to throw the Saudi government under the bus if, in fact, Saudi government allegedly had involvement or whatever. But you have to look at, what about our own government's involvement in this? Everybody keeps pointing to the Saudis. You're not going to get away with something like this without, I think, our government being involved, because we've had experts on this show about the World Trade Center, about the coming down. There's videos, clear videos. You see like explosions going off in the building on the floors, and then it starts pancaking. Was it Building 7? How the hell did that come down? So, I mean, you want to blame Saudi? I think you have to blame our own government. And once again, we knew the CIA was involved with the assassination of JFK. So you think, look how long it took. You think we're going to get anything? Any of you guys, people alive? Hell no, I doubt it. Maybe when people that are in their 20s right now or 30s, when they're 80, 90 years old, you might see it, but not now. No. Not happening. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. You seem disappointed, Lance.
No,
You seem disappointed.
I'm definitely disappointed with this administration. I'm definitely disappointed with the exposure and the arrests. I mean, we don't have any arrests. The deep state arrests are basically non-existent. I saw somebody kissing the administration's ass on X. I won't say who it was. And they're like, well, this happened and that happened and this happened. Yeah, nothing's happening. No, nothing is happening. Don't give me a bunch of minor bullshit and then act like it's some kind of big activity, because it's not. I hate when people do that for clicks. They put a bunch of things together and none of them are really what we expected. So 9/11 is one of those things. I do believe that our government was involved. I do believe that the administration covered up things. I do believe that the Saudis had involvement. I've looked at a lot of the information. And you'd have to be an idiot. I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. And in the case of this, we're talking about that the FBI and CIA records reveal 2 Saudi government employees who may have served as an advance team for the hijackers. Now, the 9/11 Commission report does not explore the Saudi advance team. They don't. Or nor the 1999 casing video of Washington, D.C. They don't discuss that.
Really?
But, the 2025 investigation, a bunch of the 9/11 families, and I believe the 9/11 families deserve the truth. I believe the American people deserve the full truth. If the Bushes were involved, if there was a nefarious relationship between the government and what happened, if it wasn't what they portrayed, we all know about Building 7. It doesn't make any sense the way it collapsed. Nothing hit it. All of a sudden, Building 7 just goes down. The insurance policies that were pulled by the Twin Towers owner, that all of a sudden he added terrorist insurance just out of the blue. I just don't think that there isn't more to this story. There's compelling evidence that the U.S.-based support networks, they secured the housing, the bank accounts, the driver's licenses, and even helped identify flight schools for these hijackers. Now, George, tell me about these timestamps you've got here. Explain what this is.
This is Catherine Heritage going. I mean, it's a long video. It's like 11 minutes. And in the video, but, in the beginning, she's talking about stuff. Then you have like timestamps 2:20 to 2 minutes, 20 seconds, 3 minutes. It's FBI ties to Al Qaeda. I mean, it's all stuff. You have alleged advanced team that you were just talking about led to buried. Advanced team lead buried in secret government records. Hijackers support 50-50 chance advanced knowledge of 9/11 plot. I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, Catherine Harris did a great job. I don't want to take anything away from her or any people watching. I think we just let them watch the clip. And it's a long clip, just so you guys know.
But I think it's worth the watch.
It's in honor of all our fallen and stuff. Listen, I had a cousin that worked for Cantor Fitzgerald that died that day. So, yep. Just play it.
The FBI says they may have served as an advanced team for the 9/11 hijackers.
Based upon these documents and the videos, it's pretty clear that they were here for that particular reason.
As someone who investigated 9/11, do these records move the timeline?
They do. That really moves the timeline back significantly to when this support network actually got on the ground here in the United States. Are any hijackers in this video?
There are 2 hijackers appear in this video. Is there enough here to draw a direct connection between 9/11 and the Saudi government?
It's clear that we now have individuals who came here prior to 9/11 who were official Saudi employees. Were they official Saudi employees working on behalf of this plot, or they were also Saudi employees and also serving the needs of Al Qaeda? I think these records clearly depict not only the advanced team coming here in the United States, but setting up shop, facilitating the care and feeding and housing of the hijackers.
That's information that would have been relevant to the 9/11 Commission.
These videos were obtained in the fall of 2001. Those videos should have been provided to the 9/11 Commission.
As someone who investigated 9/11, do these records move the timeline?
They do. I think that really moves the timeline back significantly 2 to 3 years to when this support network actually got on the ground here in the United States.
Bill Evanina is the former director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center. He spent 24 years at the FBI and investigated 9/11.
The FBI says they may have served as an advance team for the 9/11 hijackers.
I think based upon these documents and the videos, I think it's pretty clear that they were here for that particular reason. The question would be, at whose behest? Was it from the Saudi government, or were they working for Al-Qaeda directly, just happened to be Saudi employees?
Filmed 2 years before the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the video shows these Saudi government employees, Mutaib al-Suderi behind the wheel, the other Adil Mohammed al-Sudan, hiding behind a roadmap. Along with a third Saudi, they filmed Washington, D.C. landmarks, later identified by al-Qaeda terrorists as potential 9/11 targets.
The declassified record states the FBI assesses that the two Saudis may still maintain ties to al-Qaeda. Sounds like the two Saudis had long-standing ties to al-Qaeda.
Sounds very clear to me that they still possess, which means they once did possess.
Exclusive reporting and declassified intelligence and law enforcement records reveal the Saudi government employees, Sadan and Suderi, may have served as an advance team to vet those who would later assist hijackers in Southern California. The explosive lead was buried in thousands of pages of once secret government records.
We asked you to review these declassified documents. Are they significant documents?
I think they are. I think they're really predate what we've known about 9/11 and the support networks domestically here in the U.S. for the hijackers.
Based on these new records and some of the video evidence, is there enough here to draw a direct connection between 9/11 and the Saudi government?
I think we're closer. I think it's clear that we now have individuals who came here prior to 9/11 who were official Saudi employees. Now, were they official Saudi employees working on behalf of this plot, or they were also Saudi employees and also serving the needs of Al-Qaeda?
Are the two Saudis overlooked key players in the 9/11 plot?
I think that's a good question. I think these two individuals who are now named provide new investigative leads for the FBI and our intelligence services to go back and put some more pieces together in this really complicated puzzle.
It took nearly 2 decades and pressure from the 9/11 families who are suing Saudi Arabia over the terrorist attacks for these highly secretive government records to be declassified. Investigators for the families found evidence Sadan and Suderi arrived in Southern California in December 1998, 13 months before the first two hijackers also landed in Los Angeles, later receiving financial assistance, obtaining driver's licenses, living quarters, spiritual guidance, and locating flight schools.
Based on the declassified records, what did the alleged Saudi advance team do?
I think these records clearly depict not only the advance team coming here in the United States, but setting up shop, coordinating with imams on the West Coast and on the East Coast, facilitating the care and feeding and housing of the hijackers.
The hijackers, many of them did not speak English, had never been to the United States before. Could they have lived under the radar without this support network?
I highly doubt it. If you were going to initiate this type of sophisticated plot, you don't even want to take that chance. So it was critically needed to have a support network here.
The intelligence reports include phone and financial analysis, interviews, and travel patterns, concluding Sadan and Suderi lived at the same address in San Diego where the hijackers would later stay. Other common links include Fahad al-Thumeri, a well-known figure at the King Fahd Mosque in Los Angeles, reputed to be an Islamic fundamentalist. American cleric Anwar al-Awlaki. He became a major al-Qaeda leader after 9/11 and was killed in a CIA drone strike. As well as this Saudi, the FBI said there's a 50-50 chance he had advanced knowledge of 9/11.
Omar al-Bayoumi, what was his role?
I think he was clearly the fixer, the facilitator, the leader of this potential surveillance cell. And I think the two Saudis came here to vet him.
After helping Sadan and Suderi in Southern California, Bayoumi sent letters to Saudi government officials. Bayoumi said of the men, there is complete cooperation and advanced coordination.
What does that tell you?
I think they are exactly what they say they are. I think they send those messages back to the leaders who need to know that the facilitation of the support network in California is strong and it's workable, and there's coordination of the key people that need to make this work.
Bayoumi was arrested about 10 days after 9/11 in Birmingham, England. His records and videos were seized, including a February 2000 welcome party for two hijackers in San Diego. Some of the most compelling evidence that challenges the official 9/11 narrative was shared by British authorities with the 9/11 families, not by the U.S. government.
Are any hijackers in this video?
There are two hijackers appear in this video.
One hijacker can be seen in the kitchen. Bayoumi instructs the videographer not to film one side of the room. This caught Evanina's attention.
You see, don't film here, and he's motioning.
To the left side of the room.
So as an investigator, what does that tell you?
He wants these people seen in the video for sure, and absolutely nobody on that side of the video.
Later, the videographer slips up and captures the other side of the room.
So they're having the meal, and then the videographer pulls up at one point and gets the other side of the room by accident. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Right? This man is identified in court records as a Saudi government religious official, Mohammed al-Qahtani.
What's the significance?
Very significant. It's another direct tie to an actual employee of the Saudi government in the welcoming party for two soon-to-be hijackers. That's a big deal.
That's information that would have been relevant to the 9/11 Commission.
These videos were obtained in the fall of 2001. Those videos should have been provided to the 9/11 Commission.
In April 2001, 5 months before the attacks that killed nearly 3,000 Americans, in New York City, at the Pentagon, and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, two hijackers traveled from Arizona to Virginia. Investigators for the 9/11 families developed this map and allege the hijackers passed through Oklahoma and Missouri, where the same two Saudi government employees were assigned. In Missouri, Suderi had lived with a known key communications specialist for al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden.
I believe those two locations in Oklahoma and Missouri were check-in spots where they had to check in with trusted people who helped facilitate their arrival to make sure they were on the right path and going in the right direction, and if they needed any more assistance on the way.
And there is another 9/11 connection. These Saudi government employees videotaped Washington, D.C. landmarks in June 1999.
Does that look like a tourist video?
It's clearly not a tourist video. It's very specific with intent of not only the visualization on multiple sides of the building, but also the security detail.
About the same time, Osama bin Laden developed an initial list of targets for the plot, including the White House and U.S. Capitol, the same sites filmed by the Saudis.
As a trained investigator, what significance do you place on the video?
I think the video really adds value to the fact that there was thought and mindset of potential targets years ahead of the actual event in 9/11. I think that really elongates the time frame.
We've got new leadership now here in Washington. What can the new director of the FBI do?
I think this is an opportunity for the FBI, the CIA, and the administration for that matter, to go and be the most stalwart supporters of the 9/11 families, and then deal directly with the Saudi government for access to these individuals. And I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It might not come again, but I think all the stars have aligned to be able to put that request into the Saudi government.
Yep.
You know, it's disturbing. It is for me. I mean, I struggle with it. I think the families deserve the full story. I think they deserve full transparency. I think the people that lost their lives, the first responders that lost their lives, the police that lost their lives. I don't like this. I'm coming to the conclusion. I was just talking to George while the video was running backstage. I just don't know that this is a government that we have the ability to trust whatsoever. I mean, I don't want to sound conspiratorial. I just think that the people whose families and whose lives were impacted by 9/11, they deserve the full truth. I don't care who is involved, whether it's the U.S. government or the Saudi Arabians or the Israelis. I don't care who was involved. I mean, it just seems odd that the owner of the of the Twin Towers, took out terrorist insurance just shortly there before. I mean, he made billions off of this event. And, I just think there's just too many questions. We had Richard Gage on the show. George was just talking about the interview we had with Richard Gage, which, he leads a group of 3,000 engineers and architects that say that, it would have been impossible for the Twin Towers to fall the way they described it. That the jets hit the Twin Towers and then it melted the steel with the jet fuel. Then people said it was the weight of the water when they were spraying the Twin Towers. That weight caused
what water? Where were they spraying the Twin Towers with up there?
Supposedly the sprinkler system when it went off and whatever water they were using. And I said the water that was sprayed, it was really the sprinkler system. The weight is what caused the building to fall. The weight on the floors, all that extra water weight coming down. That's one of the arguments that the government uses. The architects don't agree with it. I mean, these are engineers and architects with decades of experience. Richard Gate has been analyzing. And Building 7, nobody can explain Building 7. There's the dancing Israeli video where the Israelis were dancing, and there's the audio that was heard. Pull Building 7, which pull it is a demolition term for demolishing a building with explosives. There's just a lot of stuff that has been questioned, and the government's never really made any attempt to clarify. They've never released all the files. Why? I mean, think about when this happened. Why haven't the files been released? Why is it still being hidden like it's some cloak and dagger operation? I don't think the American people deserve that. And I would say to this administration, to Donald Trump, to Kash Patel, to the leadership at the CIA, I think it's time, man. It's time to let it all out. And whatever happens, wherever the chips fall, the chips should fall where they fall. If the U.S. government is involved, if there were presidents involved, if there were intelligence agencies involved, if the Israelis were involved, the Saudi Arabians were involved, I don't know. I don't have the answers. All I know is I have a lot of questions. And I'm not trying to raise any kind of emotional stuff. This is for the 9/11. Yes, the gentleman in the red T-shirt, front row. Yes, sir, your question.
Not a question. It's more of a statement. So,
okay.
Every week or every few weeks, we always find something more about government officials. Look where we're finding out about the way the FBI, the NSA, CIA acted with the 2020 election, with the Russia stuff, hiding stuff from Trump. And we're not finding out everything. We're finding out tidbits of stuff, and there's more to come. Of course, they're going to try to protect their own selves, the agencies, and not oust them. But it's only because of Trump was harmed in this. I mean, everybody was harmed with it. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about with the 2020 election, they stole it. But the fact of the matter is, they're still trying. Even his own people are still protecting the agencies and other agents. Never mind the politicians. So, look, will we ever get full accountability? Nah. Only way we get accountability is if we, the people, disband our government peacefully, start over, and that's it. We do it peacefully through the courts. And people, I thought of this the other day, in order to do this, you'd have to have the military temporarily take over, I'm not going to say politics in that sense, but safeguarding America inside the United States, right? And while we do this process, all diplomats from all foreign countries have to leave America. Y'all can come back until we get till we install our new government, get everything situated, you can come back. But you're not going to be here while we're redoing it so you can try to sabotage or cause chaos. No. I mean, no one said it's an easy process. Definitely going to take a lot of money in the courts if you're going to be fighting in the courts. But if it really comes down to it, it says in our Constitution. And is there enough evidence to show to the courts that our government's far too gone? I think there is. I mean, just look at some of the presidents, past presidents, and then just look at some senators and congressmen. Just think about how much stuff they have on senators. I'm going to say alleged criminal activities and information that we haven't seen or don't even know about. I'm sure it's there. Probably hidden in some FBI room.
Trading. Just the insider trading alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would get criminal charges. Many other people have gotten charged criminally for insider trading. It's standard. But here they are just enriching themselves on the back of the American public and, of course, stealing. How about all the theft? USAID, those were government officials involved with that money. How about the 14 magic money computers? It's not just 9/11. It's not just the Russian collusion hoax. The dirty 51+8. How come they haven't all been jailed? I mean, people keep telling me about this and this case down in
Southern District of Florida.
Down in Florida. But I'm tired of waiting. This administration is getting ready. You know that we're only 10, 12 months away from them starting to talk about who they're going to push for the next president, whether it's J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, a combination, or somebody else.
J.D. Vance. Okay.
But you understand that's getting ready to happen. And when that happens, all their energy and the $850 million or $1 billion plus war chest that Donald Trump has put on, it's all going to be about electing the next president and how we've got to get somebody else in there and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not talking about the National Emergency Act. I believe they're going to use that right before the midterms. I think that's going to happen. I have a number of reasons for believing it.
What?
If I'm wrong, that the National Emergency Act, that they're going to pull the trigger on that. I had a discussion with somebody that I'm not going to say who it was that thinks that it's likely that they gave it an 80-20 right now. And it's somebody that's in the know. They think it's an 80-20 that it's going to happen. That's a pretty high percentage from somebody that's in the know. So that means the discussions are happening within the White House. They're happening within the inner circle of the administration because it's the only solution.
80-20 and you're going with it? I'm going with the 20. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, and George, I'll be the first one to admit if I'm wrong. But even so, I don't think that fixes anything. I think George is right. I'm not sure. We can't trust the DOJ. You can't trust the judiciary. You can't trust the FBI. You can't trust the intelligence agencies, CIA, DIA, NSA. I mean, I don't know what we can trust. It's concerning for me. It's concerning for you guys, the safety of your families and our grandkids and our children. I mean, look, we're, a lot of us are, at my age, I'm starting to think, what do I have left? 15 years?
What
do I have left in my lifetime? 15 years, maybe? I take pretty good care of my health, but I think to myself,
That's all you got?
Yeah, maybe 15.
Damn, I need to make other plans. Who am I going to have fill in for Lance, take over?
I don't know. 15 years from now, you'll have to
I'll just do it by myself. Better off.
The point is, that being said, you have to wonder, how do we fix this? And George may be right. And maybe this government may be too far gone. I don't know if they're trustworthy. I don't know if any government's trustworthy, but I thought as a child that this was a government I could count on. But now, listen, I was born 1963. So you got to look at, RFK, JFK, look at what their family went through. Look at what happened, that they killed him because he wanted to get rid of the Federal Reserve banking system. I still believe that's the reason they did it. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing when you don't have a government that's accountable, when you have government officials that can commit crimes and never face the consequences. Doesn't matter what they do. Their criminal activity, doesn't matter if you're in the criminal court system, you've seen them do it to the J6ers. They're doing it to everyday Americans every day. They're lying, they're eavesdropping on legal phone calls, they're destroying exculpatory evidence. They're lying about the discovery. They're not giving you the information because there's no way any AI will tell you that their conviction rate is physically impossible. They would never have a 96, 98% conviction rate if they weren't cheating. And that's what they do. They cheat. I don't know. It's disgusting. I don't know what to do about it. So, George, are you going to replay the 9/11 Richard Gage interview just so the audience knows? Are you probably going to do that as a rerun somewhere? or put it back up?
I might do it on 9/11.
All right, so
I don't know
George
what
is going to replay the 9/11 interview we did with Richard Gage, who runs
What
that
day
big
is
group of
9/11?
architects. He's been studying the 9/11 with all these other engineers and architects since it happened. And he has come out and brought tons of evidence.
September
Tons
11th
of
is a
proof.
Friday. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be the rerun. Or are we going to do a voiceover with it, or are we just going to do it as a straight rerun?
I don't know, Lance. I have to think about that. Let me give you a shout out though.
Yeah.
In YouTube, because you came in the chat. Upgrade 1015. What's up, Upgrade 1015? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. I gotta give a shout out to anybody in any chat. I get all the chats right here in my thing on the screen. Even locals. Somebody from locals came in before. But whatever. There he goes. All wars are bankers' wars. Very true. Start to view countries as belonging to different banking cartels and thinks make a bit more sense. Kind of agree with you because the bankers try to control a lot of shit. He who controls the money controls everything. Uh-oh. One of my mods is grumpy today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Don't like grumpy mods. All right. Do you want to take a break, George? What are we going to do here? You're going to play
Keep
the commercial?
going,
We're
man.
right
Keep
through it.
going. Keep going.
All right. Let's talk about Hassan Piker.
And I put this story right after the 9/11 because he's an Islamic terrorist, jihadist, whatever you want to fucking call him. Go ahead. He's a piece of shit.
I don't think that the right has ever led a song because somebody on the left passed away. Now, I'm just talking about a regular death. I'm not talking about a homicide. I just let this sink in that the left thinks it's, and think about Charlie Kirk's kids. Think about his family. Think about eventually his kids, when they get older, they might have to listen to this song or they might go looking about information about their dad online. And imagine them coming across Hassan Piker leading a crowd in a song mocking Charlie Kirk's murder. Now think about the impact of that, not only on the close family members. Who celebrates an assassination?
I'll tell you what, Lance. I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to go against everything I believe in, morals and values, because I just don't care right at this point. If someone, Charlie Kirk's Hassan Piker,
yeah,
I might just dance a jig. And maybe make up a tune too, singing along for if it happens. I'm just saying maybe. Because he's a piece of shit. You know why? Because we're just talking about 9/11. He said we deserve 9/11. Now he's, mocking Charlie Kirk. And he just did this. It was yesterday in Washington, in Seattle. He did some kind of event. He's a piece of shit.
So this is a guy, let me be clear. This is a guy that's been soft peddling terrorists, radical leftists. He's been doing this for years, right? Because this is what his show is all about. I've never watched it, but I've caught pieces in social media where somebody catches one of his shitty quotes. They put it up. I've never intentionally gone because I would never give him that kind of, I would never do that. I'm not going to give him any kind of clicks for free. I've caught clips. I've caught the news pieces about him. I caught this. Imagine this guy is dancing on an assassinated conservative's grave for clout. Now think about what kind of person it takes to do that. I mean, Charlie Kirk built his entire career on debate and persuasion. He never hatefully attacked anybody. He never danced on some death of a leftist radical. So instead of arguing, instead of coming up with logical reasons, Piker, he's going to do a celebration dance and a celebration song. Now, this is who the online far left cheers for. This is the Trump derangement syndrome people. I have to be honest. And I can say this honestly. If I was president of the United States, there'd be a bunch of mofos just disappearing. They'd be dying from heart attacks and all kinds of things. I would be running a secret shadow operation, and I would be getting rid of these people that I don't think are good for the country. Mm-hmm. The people that aren't good for the country aren't good for the American people. And call it whatever you will. You can call me a dictator. You can call it whatever. They're very fortunate that I'm not president of the United States. My shadow operation would go after everybody. All the deep staters would be arrested, all the congressional members. I wouldn't leave a body standing. And I would do it so swiftly they wouldn't know how to react. So, I want what the founders wanted and the framers wanted. I wanted limited government. I wanted limited jurisdiction. I want the grand experiment to continue. I want the supreme law of land, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence all to matter. I can tell you right now, any of the founders, they're rolling over in their graves. They're looking down on us. They are just thinking, man, you guys screwed the pooch. All right, let's play this clip. This guy's such a piece of shit. Honestly, if I saw him walking through an airport, I'd probably drop him like a wet bag of cement. I'd take the assault charge. I'd hit him with my full body weight, face first, right in the face. I do that for America. I do it for the people. I'd take the hit in jail for assaulting Hassan Piker. I would take it, just so you know. So he better hope he never runs past me in the airport or somewhere else and I publicly am able to identify him, because I'll drop him like a wet bag of cement. All right, let's play the clip.
Let's.
Nest of outrage after leading a crowd and singing a song mocking Charlie Kirk over the weekend. Here's how it went. So that sparked furious reaction online. Turning Point spokesman Andrew Colvett posting, Hassan Piker is engaging in pure, unadulterated evil. Let's bring on our panel. Caroline Downey is a National Review columnist and Rich Zeoli, host of the Rich Zeoli podcast. It's great to have you both. So Austin Sloss, the congressman that Alex Hogan talked about, was on Fox News Sunday. He was asked about this Piker song that he sang, and this is what he said.
I reject Hassan Piker's ideology, whether it was seeming to celebrate or at least excuse 9/11, whether it is seeming to excuse the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which I condemned immediately. The Democratic Party does not stand for what Hassan Piker stands for.
Caroline, maybe we start with the fact that they thought leading a group in song about Charlie Kirk's murder in a mocking way was the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's so tiresome how the left pretends like they're the ones under threat as well as democracy itself, and then they literally relish political violence. This isn't a reluctant revolution where they say, well, you know, the Republican opponents, they're Nazis, so we got to be really aggressive. They're actually grave stomping in a jubilant way. I mean, Hassan Piker wears the costume of Mao Zedong, who is the most murderous dictator of the 20th century. He blows the death tolls of Hitler and Stalin out of the water. That's a very intentional wardrobe choice, and everybody knows it. But, you know, Jonathan Turley wrote a great column about this song and the way that the crowd was celebrating it. And he's right that Charlie Kirk built Turning Point USA on persuasion and substance and argumentation, good-hearted, reasonable debate. The reason why they are stomping on the graves of the dead, they're mocking them, is because they've run out of arguments. So they're past that point. This is the only thing they know how to do.
Democrats are getting a whole lot of questions about socialism these days. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen was...
You know, Hassan Piker, he was born in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, but he was raised in Istanbul, Turkey, but born in New Jersey.
You know, I believe in free speech. Yeah. I think this goes beyond the bounds of that, and I think it's awful to put the Kirk family through this. I think the children will suffer the consequences of this for decades. And I think that people like Piker, this kind of hateful energy, and to be honest with you, the crowd in that room, imagine the mentality of the crowd in that room that sung along with him. Imagine the people that went there to go see Hassan Piker in person. You have to think about the mental state of these individuals. And the hateful rhetoric, and I don't care what the Democrats say. I think this is the Democratic Party. I think hateful, socialist, communist, nasty. They are the party of hatred. They should change their slogan. The Democratic Party, the party of hatred, because they really are. I mean, I would bet all those people in that room are registered Democrats, and I would argue that anybody that sung along with that, what a horrible bunch of people, horrible human beings. And Piker is a horrible human being. He's a scumbag. And, there's only one way to deal with scumbags, in my opinion, but it's the way I think. They're fortunate that I am not in charge or have the political clout to do anything about this. So all I can do is tell you guys on air, don't give this guy any support. Don't go watch his channel. You catch the clips on X, it's fine because he doesn't get the impressions. And I would tell your congressional members, and if you're a Democrat, I would tell them that you don't appreciate that they're turning in the party of hatred, because that's not what political parties are supposed to be about. They're supposed to be about difference of an opinion, differences of how you want to run the country. Safety and security of the United States are dead. And this is what we're stuck with. People in all walks of life. And you've heard some people come actively out and support Piker. And they're Democrats. You don't see any Republicans supporting him. And again, I just don't think that hatred like this, division and chaos, should be continued. And I know free speech, I want to see it protected, but is this a true use of free speech, or is this just plain hate speech?
You know, I don't ever call for violence on anyone or anything. Or I'm not a violent person. I'll look for fights. I'll protect if my space is going to be invaded or someone next to me, close to me, family. Then it's on. But for this mofo, he at least deserves a beating. You know, I was wishing he wasn't born here. This way we could have an excuse to ship his ass out. But unfortunately, he was born here.
Yeah. You know, but I don't know. I just, for you guys out there, we're in a horrible spot. You know, this is the kind of stuff that incites the people with a mental health crisis. This is what incites people. This kind of meetings, these kinds of people like Piker. I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked at this point. If you're smart, you'll contact YouTube corporate. They haven't, and I would report him on any channel that supports his show. I don't know if he's on Kick or wherever else he's at, but you could send an email and tell him that you don't understand why their platform would support this kind of hatred.
I think you just have to report it and put it in.
Yeah. So you might want to go over to YouTube and file a complaint against this guy. I'm sure he's got the videos up. Any of that kind of stuff. Maybe anything you can do to cause havoc in his life. But this is a horrible person. I feel bad for Erica Kirk and her family. I really do. And the friends of Charlie Kirk. You know, this is not good. All right, let's talk about the U.S. Postal Service. It looks like the Postmaster General might
You were
be
just asking this about Friday, too. So
I was just asking about this. So go ahead, George. Run the gun.
So the U.S. Postal Service is tightening mail-in voting rules, and they're actually moving to verify voter eligibility. Now they're putting in tougher safeguards, which Trump asked for, you know, for these mail-in ballots ahead of November. Is there enough time to go over voter eligibility? That's the thing. That's what I'm curious to know. Do they have enough time to check all these voters out? This is under a new policy where states that are seeking United States Postal Service assistance with mail-in and absentee ballots will have to notify the agency at least 60 days before the November elections if they intend to provide lists of eligible voters based on citizenship data. 60 days. Okay, so they have a 60-day time limit, which is good. I mean, this is what we want. But here's the thing, though. You have the Obama judge, Indria Talwani. She had recently blocked the enforcement of Trump's order nationwide. And she's saying, the changes would create confusion, chaos. No, they wouldn't. You have enough time to implement the agenda and stuff. The chaos and confusion is the states refusing to give it the voter rolls. If they would just get on board, we'll verify who's on there, who's citizens, who's dead, and who's not supposed to be on there. Because you know there's people on there that are dead and not supposed to be on the voter rolls. I mean, geez. Senator Murkowski's brother, who lives in Texas, is still on the voter rolls in Alaska, for example. I mean, and he's a Republican, so we want everybody off who's not supposed to be on there. They're saying about 30% of ballots cast in 2024 election were submitted by mail. You know that?
Yeah.
Seems like it's more, though.
I still think if you look at that number, right? I don't know how many registered voters there are nationwide. Let's say there's 200 million. That would be 60 million ballots that were cast by mail. Now, Democrats, we coined the term. You can go look on Urban Dictionary. George and I coined that term on the show way back when, in the very beginning, which are, dead people on the voter rolls. But the truth of the matter is this is a major part of the cheating campaign. And I'm not going to say it's just the Democrats because, of course, we can't get the SAVE Act passed. I think cheating has been in our system for decades. We're just more aware of it now because there's been some great investigative journalists exposing it. They've done an amazing job. And we've tried to expose what they've exposed, and we've exposed our own voter fraud. You guys know that we were really probably, and I think we were the only show back then that exposed all the Chinese counterfeit ballot operations. We got a hold of a bunch of data. We put up photos. We did entire shows on it. We did it on the Pete Santilli show. We did it on our show. And we showed you that you could communicate with companies in China that were printing any counterfeit ballots you wanted. If you could get a copy of what the ballot looked like, they could print the whole thing. There were a lot of discussions. You know, there was theories early on that somehow Donald Trump had run an operation where they had watermarked ballots and they had all this secret stuff. And I don't think any of that was true. I think it was people that were, it was hopium. But our voter rolls are screwed up.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Because there's more to this story. So you remember back in June when it's SCOTUS, when Amy Coney Barrett sided with the liberals, upheld the rules that allow mail-in ballots arriving after Election Day to be counted, as long as they're postmarked on time. So even though, like you have all these ballot dumps, we've seen this how many years now going, overnight ballot dumps that helps the other candidate and all of a sudden they're leading. But now these ballot dumps, if they're not, especially if they're mail-in ones, they have to be verified on the rolls. So I don't know if they're just making up regular ballots saying people came in and voted. I mean, this is gonna be interesting to see how this is playing out. Because you have the mail-in ballots, right? Nobody's gonna get a mail-in ballot if this goes the way it's supposed to, if they weren't verified on the voter roll.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can just make up ballots and then put them in.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Here's the thing. If you do that, right? You can't just fill a ballot and then hit it to the scanner. If no individual didn't actually go to the machine and put it in, can they verify that then if that happened? Because this way they won't just make up ballots then. Because you can make up, like, you know how I don't know how it is by me, when you vote, you put all that thing, it prints out the ballot, and then you take it to the scanner and scans it in, right? Does that coincide with me going to the one machine and it prints out? Do they know I actually physically went to the machine and did that? And I'm saying this, can they just make up these printed ballots and put them to the scanner, scan them without someone physically going to the machine and doing all that, putting it all in? That's the question.
Well, we know last time too, George, that they took scanned ballots and they scanned them multiple times. We saw people feeding them into the scanners multiple times. Nobody faced any charges for it, but they could take a ballot that was for the other party and they scan it multiple times. I don't understand how the system doesn't reject it the second time.
Right? Isn't there a different code on each ballot when it prints out?
You would think, but you saw that happen last time where they were taking the same stack of ballots and feeding it through and feeding it through and feeding it through.
Well, did somebody alter the software?
It trigger an alarm if a ballot gets fed through the machine twice, and that's why you can't trust the machines. These are all obvious questions. Like George, you brought up on the show the other day, and you were right over the target. Blockchain technology would take care of 99% of this, because the blockchain would have a blockchain.
You know what, Lance? It's not so much you can't trust the machines, you can't trust the people that are behind the machines. That's what it is.
Well, of course. I mean, we know that Eric Coomer, Dominion, we heard statements he made about, I'll make sure Donald Trump doesn't win. But look, he won Dominion won their cases against everybody that ever said anything against him, and yet Dominion's still in question when we see the details of the evidence. These are allegations. I don't know it for a fact. I'm not an election expert. I know that I've seen lots of experts, hacking machines with ballpoint pens, as an example, in the Georgia case, using a $100 piece off of Amazon, a hacking USB drive. They just stick it into the printer, and that was hacking the machines. It's been proven that this system is flawed completely.
All right. So
I believe the Republicans and the Democrats have benefited from the cheating systems. I don't think it's just one side. I think it's both.
Oh, yeah, of course, without a doubt. I mean, we've seen it in Florida just recently. So now that's the same judge now, Judge Indira Talwani. She just ordered the Trump administration to defend the U.S. Postal Service mail-in ballots integrity rules, giving them till 8 a.m. tomorrow. And she claims the Postal Service created emergency after final rule dropped. So she's just typical your judicial overreach, trying. I'm sure the Trump team administration will be on it. I'm pretty sure that somebody worked with the U.S. Postal Service, Postal General Master, on these rules. So they're just trying anything. She's just trying anything where, oh, you didn't have your answer to me by 8 a.m., so I'm voiding all this. That's what she's trying to do. I don't think it's going to work, though. Hopefully Trump is on it. We'll see. You want to know, though, the rules. I want to know what... I don't think we got the specific rules yet because they haven't been agreed upon, so... Pretty much... Wait, let me see. State election officials will also be required... Okay, so here it is. New regulations require ballot mail envelopes to include the official election mail logo, meet automation standards, and carry unique intelligent mail barcodes. State election officials will also be required to submit information through the federal ballot mail portal, including name of the person receiving a mail-in or absentee ballot, the voter's address, unique barcode printed on the outbound ballot envelope, unique barcode printed on the return ballot envelope, and the state of the originating election office. Here's my thing. How safeguarded is the U.S. Postal Service computers from being hacked right now? Right?
Yeah.
That's another thing we need to look at. I bet you nobody thought of that, huh? They're probably working on that shit right now.
You like how Talwani, this judge, moved the deadline? They asked for a deadline that was 16 hours. Even the opposing counsel asked this. And she files. How many judges do you know work on Sunday? None?
I don't know.
So she moved this deadline up 16 hours and hit him with it on Sunday. It was a Sunday order. Now, if that doesn't tell you that this judge is a piece of shit, I don't know any judges who work on Sunday. Come the weekend, they're done. So she moved the deadline up to 8 a.m. and said that the USPS had created the emergency.
Yep. I mean, this is just typical judicial overreach. There's still part that like they want to implement in this, but they're waiting for a higher court's order. So I don't know, but you know, nobody wants to impeach these judges, even though they rule. I still say if a judge makes, I don't care what judge it is, state court, municipal, county, whatever. The judge makes a ruling and he's wrong on whatever he's doing a case on, and it goes to any appellant gets kicked back because he was wrong. He gets a warning. Second time, they lose the bench. That's it. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. A lifetime appointment is probably one of the biggest dangers to our constitutional republic.
Lance,
just like absolute immunity. I don't know. I mean, the state election officials aren't asking for anything serious. They're just asking for honest voter rolls. It seems like that should be a simple yes. This is what happens when the judiciary is weaponized. You know, they're basically asking for the name of the person receiving a mail-in their absentee ballot, the voter's address, the unique barcode printed on the outbound ballot envelope, the unique barcode printed on the return ballot envelope, the state of the originating election office. I mean, they're asking for pretty simple stuff that should easily be able to be produced very easily, but they don't want it. That November 2nd election, this is their hope to throw our entire government into turmoil because it's going to create nothing but chaos if they take over the House and the Senate. I don't know. I can tell you this. If somehow they rule against the postmaster, I believe that the likelihood of the National Emergency Act just went up even more. George, what do you think? I'll ask you, since you're on the opposing, you think it won't happen. If they push this through and they remove the Postmaster General's wanting to verify that there's real voters, real people, what do you think? Does the National Emergency Act?
No, that part I think is in state. There's other parts that are they're waiting on a ruling. But if this gets thwarted and they can't implement it, then I could see Trump doing emergency powers with the election. I could definitely see that.
Okay, let's talk about flock cameras.
I wanted to skip to 6 because I got a jet.
Oh, you have the jet. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I just want to do 6 because I'm appalled by this. The
Okay, go ahead.
WNBA, can you believe they threw a transgender fan out of the stadium?
Uh-oh.
Fucking
Horrible.
crazy. They threw a transgender fan out of the stadium. I'm like horrified. I thought there were equality in the WNBA. I still don't know why they call it the W. But, yep. What was that? What was the transgender's crime? Wearing a shirt that said woman, noun, adult human female. This is canon. This is great. I can't believe they threw him out. But this stupid ass player, like, she went over to the sidelines over there talking shit to him. He just stood up. He's a fan. And they want
Yeah.
to throw him out.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is last night's game. I have a small clip so you can see actually what happened. Then I have the bigger clip, but here, check it out.
And right before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena after Natasha Cloud got that bucket. She wanted her voice heard. We have talked about the conversations surrounding the W. That is Enes Kanter in the building today. And he has voiced how he's felt about the situation. Natasha Cloud voicing her opinion as well. Kanter was just escorted out.
I mean, she was over there instigating the player.
It's too bad she didn't jump in the stands and try to start a fight with him. It would have been great to see Kanter knock her out.
I don't think he would. I think he's more
No, I don't think
positive
so
player,
either.
yeah.
But that would have been great because what an antagonistic, nasty human being. Here they are. You know, the WNBA has taken this position. I think Kanter's doing the right thing, and I support Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is a joke, and I can tell you this: the day that Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham decide to go to Europe to play because they've been made some incredible offer, WNBA is done. It won't survive.
You know something? You know what I think is going to happen? If they don't get their act together, right, and they allow Kanter to be in the draft, I forget Royce White, the other one. I bet you the commissioner is going to be with the teams like, don't draft them, and they'll just be left hanging. I can
Could
see
be.
that. Yeah,
Could be horrible.
if I was a coach, and I was thinking like, wait a minute, don't draft them. I want to win. If you want to, you said they could play, but I would grab them on the sneak then.
Yeah, all of a sudden draft them as a free agent.
Who'd you go?
Position open. We're
Who would
taking
you
the free
get?
agent.
If you had a choice, who would you draft first? Enes Kanter or Royce White?
I think I'd go with Royce White.
I'm going with Kanter.
Are you?
Yeah.
I like them both. It would be
Kanter's
tough
a better
pick, but if I could
basketball player.
But remember, you could draft both. I mean, if they're free agents and nobody picks them up during the draft,
No,
you could just,
no.
if they're
Well-
free agents, if they don't get drafted and they're listed in the draft, that makes them free agents. Now they're still there.
But you only could have so many players. You'd have to cut somebody and stuff.
No, you cut a couple of shitty players and pick them. Why would I mean for Enes Kanter and Royce White on your WNBA team? I mean, you just won the championship and the season hasn't even started. I mean, there's no doubt that they would hammer the women in the WNBA. I mean, listen, it's not that women aren't great athletes at their own level, but you're talking about two male athletes that were, very successful in the NBA. They were great players.
I mean, if they don't
I
want
would
to
do it.
if they don't
I
want to
would cut
define
two
a woman,
players. What?
they don't want to define what a woman is, and they don't even know what it is. Why have another league? Why have a separate league, WNBA? Why don't you just eliminate it all and let the women try out for the men's?
I mean, to be honest with you, if you were an NBA team, you'd have to think about Caitlin Clark.
Well, hold on. You say that, right? Even though she's a great player, I would like to know how would she play handling a men's basketball, because the women's basketball is smaller. I don't know if you knew that.
I get it.
So
I get it.
she'd probably still be great, but
When you say it's smaller, what did you mean by that, George? Maybe I don't know what you were just saying.
the size of the basketball, women's basketball is smaller than a men's basketball.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You mean the dimension of the basketball is different?
Yes, that's what smaller means.
I didn't know that. How much smaller is it, George?
I don't know. Look it up.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. George, it's okay if you know something I don't. You can just say, hey, yeah, no, this is a fact. I didn't know that. I didn't know the women's basketball dimensions were smaller. Why is that? I thought basketballs were a standard size.
Oh.
Hmm.
Let me see.
Where did you learn that?
I mean, if you look at the ball, it looks smaller, but then I looked it up or I seen it somewhere. I forget. Okay, WNBA uses a smaller size 6 ball, 28.5 inch, circumference 20 ounce, compared to the NBA's 7 ball, 29.5 inch, 22 ounce. So it's also heavier too.
2 ounces lighter and 1 inch smaller.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, I didn't know that. There's news for me. All right. Well,
I don't know why though. If they want to say women are the same as men, is that why are you making different standards? You want to know something?
Idea.
Can you show me at any time in history, and this is anybody in chat, show me anywhere in the military where a woman is a Navy SEAL, any special forces, any Delta Force. I'll wait. Yeah. You ain't going to find it. You know why? Because there is none.
Yeah, it would be pretty difficult, I think, to compete with the men in special forces.
And I'm not talking about fucking no movie G.I. Jane either, buddy. People.
Yeah. Hey, you know, this is one of those situations. I didn't know that about the basketball. Is the hoop a different size for WNBA then? Or do they get the benefit of the larger hoop with the smaller ball?
You know what? I believe the hoop is the same size.
So they get the benefit that it's more likely to go in because there's a larger circumference for it to go into.
There you go.
I didn't know that. That's news to me. But anyway, at the end of the day, WNBA has made their bed. They got to lay in it. I think that they're heading towards a major issue. Because again, I would be a sneaky coach. I would dump 2 people and I'd pick up Royce White and Enes Kanter as free agents. And they would be right in the game. And then I'd be on my way to a championship. Yeah, championship.
So the rim is identical to the NBA, 18 inches.
How about the height?
The height's same too.
Interesting.
10 feet. Okay. Yep.
Is that true of college sports, George? Do women use a smaller basketball in college sports?
I imagine so.
I don't know. This is a brand new thing to me. Hopefully the people in the audience is brand new. I think George found some really good information here. I was completely unaware of this.
Imagine Enes Kanter in the women's ball. Like it. So if you remember Michael Jordan, the way he would just take the ball and like put it in the air with his one hand all over. Yeah. Not that many. Most players can't do that.
No, I know. Yeah.
So imagine Enes Kanter with the women's ball, Enes Kanter or Royce White. Yeah. He'd be like this, playing with the women.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see somebody body check those guys too, like they do. I'd like to see Angel Reese try to pull the moves she pulls on Caitlin Clark, on Enes Kanter or Royce White.
Oh, I gotta apologize to Mawick. Sorry, bro. G.I. Jane was just a story. My heart is broken. I love you guys.
Hopefully you'll recover. All right, listen, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take the short form, take the long form. Now, listen, just do me a favor. Head over to YouTube after this. Please give us a follow, even if you don't watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
We need to grow that channel. They've been slow growing us.
Hit the likes over there too, will you?
Yeah, hit the likes, share that content. Help us with our YouTube channel. Help us with locals if you're on locals. Get over there and follow our channel. Do everything you can. Listen, we need all your help. That's how we do it. And if you're on any podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, find The Big Ming Show. Just hit a follow, even if you don't listen to us there. Might be nice if you're on the road and you want to listen to the audio file. George does a great job of getting all that content up.
Well, Lance,
we're on every major podcast platform.
If they're on the road, they just want to listen, they could always just tune into Rumble or YouTube and press play.
But I'm
and
saying
listen.
if they already have a membership over at Spotify or Apple or iHeart, we need all that growth we can get. We need comments from you guys. If you guys love the show, leave a nice comment about the show. You know, and if you want to see interviews, hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. If you think there's somebody you'd like to see us interview, we'll do our best to get them on. It's always a fight to get great interviews, but we appreciate you guys. Just want to tell you, God, country, family, man, this show is all about stopping the division and chaos. They don't want to stop it. Our government doesn't want to stop it. The only way we can stop it is ourselves. So,
yeah, it's just another manic Monday.
That's it.
I wish it was Sunday, my fun day. All right, y'all have a great day. Stay blessed. I love you guys. Catch you tomorrow, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Big Mig Show tomorrow. Peace.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.